So I start working on my schedule for APAP in mid-December, and I put in all the events that I want to do. I put in the plenary. I know I won't get to everything, but I still like to know when things are happening. And then I really think about what are my goals for this conference. So for me, I'm an agent. I want to meet with venues. I want to meet with venues who I've been having conversations with, as well as new folks. So that's where I start. I start trying to set my meetings. And then I fill in with what professional development do I want? What affinity groups are gathering? I do youth and family. There's always a great gathering Friday morning. So that time is enshrined in my schedule. And I go from there, thinking about goals. I can't do everything. And then just try to get creative.
As an artist manager attending APAP, it's absolutely crucial that you start to plan your schedule far in advance and that you do it in a really careful, strategic, and intelligent way. APAP is really good about sending out the attendee list so that you can see who's going to be there and you can see who it might make sense for you to spend some time with to talk about the artists and the projects that you're offering. APAP starts to send out the attendee list as early as August or September, and I typically start to plan my schedule in October or November. In order to do that, I carefully review the attendee list to see who are the presenters that are going to be there, and which of those presenters present the kinds of artists and projects that I'm offering. There's almost nothing that alienates a presenter and makes them less likely to meet with you than if you blast them with emails and you're presenting classical music like I am, and that presenter has no interest in classical music. So it's a big project and it's a big list of presenters that's attending, but it's really important that you go carefully through that list, one presenter at a time, look up their website, look at what they're offering, and make sure that what they're doing aligns with what you're doing.
If you're new to exhibiting and this is your first time, so there's a couple of things. One with etiquette, it seems sort of golden rule, right? But don't go into somebody else's booth and interrupt a conversation that they might be having with someone else. And also don't accost people that are coming down the aisle to drag them into your booth, because sometimes people really are just sort of walking the hall and trying to figure out where they want to maybe come back to later or to see what people have. Make sure that you have some great visuals in your booth. A lot of people use the retractable banners because they're easy to transport, they're easy to change up, every conference season if you want to do that, but make sure those visuals are eye-catching. And then as far as materials in the booth, remember a lot of people are flying into a conference and they don't really like to carry a lot of heavy material back with them on the plane. So keep your materials light. We do have a brochure that's sort of the size of a playbill, but depending on what conference we go to, there are some conferences where they don't want to take the playbill and they would rather just take a roster one sheet we have that has QR codes for the different artists. And I think people are traveling lighter, they are getting more used to looking at materials online.
For new exhibitors, I would say just make sure that you respect your neighbors who are also exhibiting. It's important to understand that we're all in this together and to respect, your neighbors as well as your presenters' time, and make sure that you don't go over your allotted time as well, because those presenters then are going to be late to their other meetings. So it's just really important to be prepared for the pitches and the fit for who you're going to meet with, and make sure that you stick to your schedule so that you then don't have another presenter or organization waiting for you in line, and that those people then can get to their next meeting.
So when I'm building a relationship with a brand new venue, I'm thinking about what we have on our roster that might be a good fit and a reason why I'm contacting them. Maybe we have an artist showcasing at APAP that I really want to make sure they know about. Maybe we have an artist coming to a venue 4 hours away from their city, and I think they might work really well in the routing. The more specific I can be about why I think they should talk to us, the better. Maybe I see that they do a lot of workshops in the community, and I know that one of our artists is really talented in that and can offer it in different languages. So I'm trying to get specific. I'm trying to be brief and include that information of why I'm contacting them within that first paragraph. And then just also be understanding. I know folks get a ton of emails and not everyone's going to get back to me. And the work that I can do to make sure I'm relevant to the people I'm reaching out to, I think helps with that noise.
For me, I just really like to be myself. I find that I have really good relationships with a lot of folks, and I'm friends with so many of the presenters out there. I feel like even if I'm not a fit necessarily for them, it's important to hear them, to know them, to get to know what they're facing, what works well for them, so that I can then recommend some of my other, agent friends to them when they're looking to fill certain dates. I just think it's important to be yourself, not to be pushy, and to know that if you have a relationship that you're cultivating or that's in place, you can always lean into that later. It's more important, I find, to just develop that actual relationship naturally and to have it be a genuine relationship, not have it just be, like you're checking out at the counter kind of thing.
So I cherish the time I get to talk to my agent colleagues. I don't see them as much during the year, but it's a nice time to see what other issues people have, where we have that common ground, just to see what's going on in the field. And, we ask a lot of questions. We don't always find answers, but it can be lonely to be an agent and to be just in your emails, in your voicemail, and to know that other people are on this journey with you. And I've made some really good friends with other agents, seeing them, once a year, but for many years, and it all adds up. So that affinity time has been great. We've participated in several Up Next, which has been fantastic. And it's such an exciting place to elevate a project that needs a little bit more of an introduction and, sharing video. And the ambition of those projects at Up Next gets me really inspired and excited, and just to take a look at what our field is doing and the projects that people are manifesting into this world. I definitely look at APAP as a place to get inspired, not just about the work I'm doing this year, but about my career overall and where I want to be in, 4, 5, 10, 20 years.
APAP is a whirlwind, and you're going to be talking to people from early in the morning until late at night, and you never know when there's going to be an opportunity to connect with somebody who could potentially connect you into an opportunity directly or through a colleague. So you want to make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row in terms of speaking about the artists and the projects that you're offering. You're going to want to have a flyer or some kind of physical material that you can give to that person that they can either take back in order to remember the conversation or to share with their committee or a colleague who's involved with programming. And you're going to want to take really good notes. A real key to conference and something to keep in mind is that the people you're talking to are going to be meeting with dozens, if not hundreds, of other artist managers and folks that are pitching them projects. And the conference is going to be a whirlwind for them as well. And so a real key to taking the start of those conversations from conference and really converting them into opportunities for your artists is going to be with really diligent, really detailed follow-up that is going to continue that conversation and help move that forward. Here at MKI, we have a goal of sending out our follow-ups via email within 7 to 10 days after the end of the conference. And we find that there is a real advantage, and we're seeing a lot more of those opportunities to convert to actual deals and engagements when we're able to do that follow-up, to connect what happened in a conversation in that conference setting to a direct follow-up, continuing that conversation via email, and ideally scheduling a follow-up email and continuing that conversation once that presenter is back at home.
People shift in their positions all the time, and that's why it's also really important to respect everyone in the industry. You know, the artists that are coming to you, your neighbor presenting, you know, expo hall booth folks, like all of us work in different aspects of the field and the industry all the time. So treat everyone with the respect that they deserve just as a human.